Amaterios A3 has landed! So today for our Beyblade show, we are taking a look at the Beyblade Burst Turbo Switchstrike Amaterios A3. So, something I do like right off the bat is just the fact that they actually have the right symbol for it. The A, which I believe is like alpha. Just like for the Red Chalcom unboxing we did, the actual O is in the Omega symbol that's based on. So, something that's a little bit weird is the fact that it says A3. The thing is, it should be a 4. Now, this is a turbo product, even though they want to call it a Switchstrike, which is whatever, but it would be Amaterios A4, not A3. It's weird. It's compatible with the level chips too. It'd be A4. But Hasbro is doing this Beyblade. However, should mention this right off the bat. The only real difference between this and TT is just the fact that the layer has no metal on it. Like, this is the actual layer for it. I mean, I'll cover the whole bay in a second. This is an attack type Beyblade. It is DR61TA18. So the parts are Aero and new frame, which is angle, and the performance tip, which is anchor. So the Switchstrike gimmick with this one is that the layer kind of is, okay, so look at this. The layer is like bladed and everything, right? You see the blades around. It has like these weird little tab things that sort of like move when you hit it. I guess sort of like these extra bladed action when attacking. And the performance tip is anchor. Anchor kind of reminds me of Destroy. It's a little bit different, has a different coating around it, so pretty interesting. Now the thing is, I'm kind of going into this really new because I have not had the actual rare Beyblade battle, which is the only actual way you can really obtain this Beyblade, is through going on the Japanese Beyblade website. You use the points that you have, and you play to actually get the rare Beyblade battle of Amaterios. This is called Shining Amaterios. They have other versions where it's Shadow, whatever. This is like the definite version of the Bay. And I like to thank Kay from WBO for actually lending me his Amaterios. I'm actually able to do a fair comparison now, since I didn't really have anything for it. So let's take a look. So here we have Shining Amaterios, or I'm pretty sure the app just says Amaterios A3. Here we have Amaterios. Looks really cool. So big difference right away, I should mention this. The original Takara one does have metal on it, and for whatever reason, the Turbo base that they're releasing has no metal, instead it's metallic paint, so I guess that could be a negative for this layer. We will see it. We'll explore it a bit more as we go on later. You can also see that this whole thing is transparent, unlike the original one where you could actually see these little red lines there. This part here is just transparent. That's cool, I guess. Also, you can see they use, actually no, the painting on this one's not too bad. I actually have a good paint job for that, so yeah, that's a good job. So, we've got Aero, or technically this is Aero Prime, because they had actually, originally, they did have Amaterios and Baldor trademarked. I think it was, what was it called? Baldorov and Amaterios, right? That was for Beyblade Micros. They never actually did the release for Baldor Bumper Bite or the original Amaterios Aero Assault, so kind of doesn't really make any sense to see the arrow there and the little prime mark there, or the dash mark, but just a little bit of backstory. So the difference between that and Takara, TT's painted gold, this one's just regular silver. I don't really care too much about that. So, we've now got a new frame, which is angle. So, I've never seen this frame before actually in my hand. So, other than really the paint job, not really that much of a difference. Same shape and everything. Overall, it's pretty good. So, you have anchor between Takara. You can see, I believe it should have the exact same material for it, just Hasbro doesn't really do a paint job with this one. This one just more has like the main gold color. The actual Takara one actually has a nice gold paint job for it. So, it's not too bad. Also, it is compatible with a level chip, as I always want to show with these bays. I don't recommend it, obviously, just to show it for the video, since people might ask, is it compatible with a level chip? So, overall, decent. So now let's do a Hasbro versus Takara comparison. Top is Hasbro, bottom is Takara. So I guess a real positive to this is that all the other parts are accurate, and as far as I'm able to tell, there's no real differences between the molds on the both of them. So that is, of course, I guess, a positive for Amaterios. Now, a big difference between both of the layers, obviously, as we can tell, Takara Tomy has the metal. Hasbro does not have any metal on it at all, just has metallic paint. It does have some transparency like the Takara Tomy, has some sparkles in it too, just like Takara Tomy. Again, there are a few differences here and there. I do think it's not going to really help this Amaterios for the fact that if there's no metal there, there's no real weight to it, and there's not going to be any real weight to the attacks for this, so I'm not too sure how good this layer is actually going to be. I do have a level chip for well, not only for comparison, just to really show it with the level chip on it. If you want to see it with a level chip, there you go. Again, it's kind of I mean, the layer is still like accurate in the shape and everything. It still keeps those little bladed gimmick that Takara Tomy one has. Now let's look over Aero Prime. So something to mention actually is that if you don't know why there's Prime there, a little dash, well, you see, Takara Tomy has Amaterios Aero Assault, which was like, it wasn't a dual layer or anything, it was like the original Rare Bay Get Battle Bay, and Hasbro did have Balderov and Amaterios trademarked, and those were for Beyblade Micros, but they never actually released Amaterios Aero Assault, so if you're confused on why there's a dash there on the Prime, there's your answer for it. Takara Tomy is just gold painted, Hasbro's just plain. Again, I don't really care too much for stuff like that. Let's go over Angle. Angle, other than maybe the paint job, exactly the same. Anchor, the exact same thing, like I said before. Same mold and everything, same material for the both of them. So, other than really like the paint job, I guess, because the paint job's a little bit weird, since it's like plain. I mean, Takara Tomy actually has like a nice paint job for that, so I guess it's kind of F for there. Overall, it's alright, I guess. It is a little bit weird because Orichalcum did have its Octo with metal, and Hasbro didn't make that into plastic. However, well, Amaterios didn't have any metal for its actual layer, even though they're both a Rare Bay Gets Battle Bay. So I don't know what's going on with that. I guess maybe because if that one had metal, then actually people would question why doesn't the rest have metal. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So let us see both of the bays on a side-by-side comparison. This one is Takara Tomy. This is Hasbro. Again, huge shout out to K from WBO for lending us his shiny Amaterios. It's they're pretty close. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty close. I always have to do like a second glance just to make sure they're both lined up with the right parts and everything. If you want to see the bottom for both, there you go. Again, it's not too bad of a job still, overall. It's alright, I don't know, 6 out of 10 maybe, 6.5, I don't know. I'm going with low 6 so far. We're going to do a weight comparison on the two, and then after we'll move on. Actually how tight this bay is all together. I am a little bit surprised though that they did the complete release for this bay, and they didn't just turbofy it a lot. So, not too bad. This is how the bay looks fully assembled. Looks nice, looks nice. I didn't really know what to expect. Orichalcum is 100% accurate. They actually have metal on it. It is kind of weird though. Orichalcum does have metal on its Octa, but just like another prized bay, Amaterios doesn't have metal on the layer. I guess it could also be for the reason that maybe since all the other turbo bays don't have metal on the layer and it's just metallic paint, maybe not to confuse someone. I guess, I don't know, some silly reason like that. Probably why they did it. So, quick comparison with the both bays side by side, Takara Tomy and Hasbro. Not bad overall. At least they keep the shape and everything. I don't really see any real negatives to this. Looks like they got the complete mold for it too. So, I gotta say, that's a good job by Hasbro's part. I think at least on the bright side, when they're releasing Orichalcum and Amaterios, the fact that at least we get the right disc, the right frame, the right performance tip, same with Orichalcum, that's a big positive. Orichalcum actually has the layer completely accurate. Amaterios, I guess, the no metal part, but if you don't care for that, we get two rare prize Beyblades that are a lot more accessible. I believe in Canadian it's about $17, and American it's about $13. So that's pretty accessible. It's a lot more accessible to us now. I do have a feeling this might actually sell out quite a bit when more people start to see it. So I have this scale right here. We're gonna be doing a little weight comparison between the two. So I'll first do Hasbro, then I'll do Takara Tomy. So the Hasbro layer is about 9 grams. Takara Tomy, I'm expecting a big difference. That is 18. It's 18, 17? That rounds to, all right, so 18. That is quite literally half. All right, so now let's do the disc. And well, the 2-part forged disc, I guess, with the frame. That is 20. Takara Tomy. 19? 19 and rounded is 20, so 19. Not too bad. It's actually this weighs a bit more. That's a little surprising. Could be again some factors like maybe the paint used, etc. So Takara Tomy anchor, or no, well, yeah, Hasbro anchor first. That is 6 grams. Takara Tomy. That is, oh, I went to 18 for a second. That is 6 grams. Why'd I go to 18? So 5, 6. So 5 grams Hasbro, 6 Takara Tomy. So the big difference in the weight is not too crazy. Again, with the factor of the no metal on the turbo base, does add a little bit to it. 32 grams for Amaterios. Let's see, Takara Tomy. Takara Tomy is 41, 42. So a bit of a difference. I still think though, it's not too bad for what we got at least. I'm liking this bay. So for battles for right now, what we'll be doing is I'll do a batch match against a few Switchstrike bays, and then after that I'll do it against some turbo bays. So I'll probably try to split in half, so half Switchstrike, half Alright, so let's get started. We'll be first doing a test launch for Amaterios, and we'll probably do 2 rounds per whatever match that we actually do. So 3, 2, 1, let it rip. I'm not used to anchor. What was that? I heard kind of scraping on the stadium. That's weird. I never tried out anchor. It's like first impressions. Wow. Let me do another test. Let me just see. That was crazy. I guess anchor is trying to maybe the point for anchor is like an attack performance step, and it's kind of supposed to grip around the stadium, I guess. Never tried it before. Let's try it against the Takara Tomy version of Amaterios, or Shining Amaterios, I should say. I'm expecting TT to win. I'll launch Hasbro first, then Takara Tomy second, then I'll reverse the order. So for our first match, we're doing Hasbro versus Takara Tomy. Hasbro will be launched first, then after it'll be Takara Tomy, and then after that, I'll reverse the order. First round, first battle, I should say, it's Hasbro versus Takara Tomy. Hasbro will get launched first, then after that, it'll be Takara Tomy. So let's see. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Rip. Yeah, TT's gonna have a lot more weighted attack, so I'm expecting Takara Tomy. Like, if Hasbro wins, that's good. If it loses, it's like, I'm not expecting anything. Yeah, you can kind of hear those blades attacking each other. Oh wow, who saw that coming? Alright, Takara Tomy. Hasbro. Oh no! Takara Tomy's knocking Hasbro incredibly off balance. I didn't see that coming. Again, against its counterpart, I'm not expecting anything. Yeah, this bay is very wacky. So now let's compare it against some other Switchstrike. We'll do Genesis Valtrek first, attack on attack. It's very weird how like this stuff is sort of like put together. In terms of like calling it a Switchstrike and all that stuff. Well, I mean, it's better than, I guess, having anchor Slingshock, so am I gonna really complain for that? Like, no. I am happy for the fact, yeah, it's a turbo product, whatever, but the fact that it didn't like get that Slingshock gimmick to it, that's good. They're calling it a Switchstrike bay, whatever, I don't care, as long as it like for the most part, keeps all the gimmicks it's supposed to have. So let's do Kinetics to Tune. Like, imagine if they did a Slingshock version of Octa. Just imagine that for a second. Oh, this guy's out. Imagine that. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? A Slingshock version of Octa. Shelter Regulus one up. By the way, the slopes on Amaterios are decent. I would say 7 out of 10. Now I'm kind of feeling it a bit more in the battles. Lost against Regulus. Let's do another round. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand Anchor. I just don't. Anchor's so weird. It's not a complaint for Hasbro. It's just I've never tried Amaterios before. I never tried Shining Amaterios, so it's like my first experience with this bay. All right, lost to Regulus. Let's try Kalzar. Let's try Kalzar. Yeah, Anchor goes a bit crazy. It's not really able to give those really hard hits to those Switchstrike bays, but no, I guess. Alright, Kalzar. It's kind of looking at most of these Switchstrikes, but still. Lunar L3. Anchor versus the... Jeez! Yeah, you can tell the difference between the weight on these two, and Lunar has metal and the other one doesn't. Ooh, look at those hits. Look at those amazing hits. Alright, now let's do the turbo sides of this video. So I'll pick Emperor, Fornius, Achilles, Leopard, and Phoenix, and we'll see how it at least compares to the turbo bays. Phoenix is in his battle ring mode, the same for these other bays during these matches. Okay, just knocked off of their Vive armor. Nice, nice. Alright, it's doing a few hits to Phoenix. I don't know. I'm going for maybe a 6 to a 7. 6.5 maybe. Phoenix beat it. 6.5 so far. We're at a 6.5. So, yeah, this can really wow me in these matches. Fornius. I'll also make a battle against Orange Outcome, actually, since for some reason I didn't do that. Giving a few hits around. Fornius, alright, let's try Vice Leopard. Vice Leopard. Hey, at least Leopard's lift frame is able to make Amaterios win this one. Right? Come on, maybe? Or not. Alright, come on. At least beat the Achilles. At least. Beat the weakest one. Come on, Amaterios. I believe in you. It's like, just like praying for Amaterios right now. Ugh. Doing a few hits, alright. Doing a few hits. Made some contact there. This is the big RIP. This is a big RIP. All right, let's try Reach Outcome. To be fair, I had no expectations for this bay. I've never actually tried out any of the other variants for this. I don't really know how Anchor works or anything like that. So, like, I didn't expect anything like bad or good. I think generally though, I'm not really a fan of Anchor. I don't know. I do actually feel under maybe a better attack combo. I don't think Anchor is all too good for this one. It could probably be pretty decent. I mean, overall, we're still getting like the full prize bay, minus a few obvious things like the no metal. Still, it's not too bad. We get Aero, or Aero Prime, we get Anchor, we almost get the full package. I'm not a fan of the actual stock itself, however, I do feel these parts could be useful under different bays. Is this worth a pickup? I would say yes. And also the fact that the Takara Tomy side, we can't even actually get these bays. So the fact that it actually did Orichalcum and Amaterios is a plus in my books. So I guess it's a good job for Hasbro. I mean, yeah, a few subtle things, but still though, we get almost the exact full bay. So before we end this video, again, like I said, shout out to Kay from WBO for lending me his Amaterios to actually compare this to. And for the QR code, before I forget, there it is on the bottom right there. There is Amaterios if you want to scan it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what do you actually think about this bay. This video might be a little bit long since it's mostly first impressions, and that's it for now. As always, have an awesome day.